My first question to you is, why did you join Toastmasters? Why did you come to Toastmasters originally? I think if you were to talk to people, you might get all kinds of reasons why they still come to Toastmasters, but there are many reasons why people, there's only one reason actually why people actually come to Toastmasters for the first time. People don't come to Toastmasters just because they want to give 5-minute speeches. If you wanted to give a 5-minute speech, you could go stand in your garage and speak to the wall. People don't come to Toastmasters because they want to finish some workbooks. If you wanted to do more workbooks, you could go back to 5th grade. Or maybe even kindergarten, depending on your schooling background. People also don't come to Toastmasters to make new friends, generally speaking. Maybe that's why they stay in Toastmasters, but they don't come to Toastmasters for that reason. People come to a group like Toastmasters for one reason. They come because they want to grow. Now, here's the truth. The truth of the matter is that growth comes from a place where I have recognized there's a place for me to go. You see, there's a fundamental principle of growth that says, I am not yet where I should be. I am not yet where I should be. There's a direction, there's a place, there's somewhere I need to go. Now here's the truth. If you knew how to get there, you'd be there. If you knew what was good and what was bad and what you needed to do to change the good into better and what you needed to do to change the bad into good, you'd already do it. The reason you come to a place like this to grow is because there is a reality that you know about growth. And that reality is that evaluation is everything. You cannot grow unless someone evaluates you. You cannot become who you want to be unless someone tells you the parts that are good and the parts that are bad. In fact, here's the reality. If you get the privilege of evaluating someone in this room, then you are the reason that other people are here. If you're evaluating someone, the whole reason they have come to Toastmasters, the whole reason they are giving their speech, is to hear what you have to say after they're done saying what they have to say. You make this meeting what it's all about, based on your evaluations. So I've heard many different kinds of evaluations. I've heard the Oreo method of evaluation, where you stand up front and you say, here's something good about you, here's something bad about your speech, here's something good about you. That's the Oreo. 2 things on the either end that are good, 1 thing in the middle to work on. I've also heard people do the shopping list approach, where you stand up in front of people and you just point your finger at them and you say, here's 1 thing wrong, here's another thing wrong, here's another thing wrong, here's a good thing, here's a wrong thing, here's a good thing, here's a wrong thing, and you just list them all off. Well, I want to challenge you today to adopt a new approach, an approach that I'm calling the perfect evaluation. So, if you would indulge me on this acronym, let's walk through the 7 steps of a perfect evaluation briefly this morning. The first step is this: prepare. The thing that we fail to do mostly in evaluations is to be ready for it. I mean, think about this. In this room in particular, I don't know how other Toastmasters clubs operate, but I know that when I get that schedule and it says evaluation on there, that I'm evaluator 1 or 2 or 3, I breathe a sigh of relief, because that means I don't have to do any work for the week. All I have to do is show up, listen to what someone says, and then I get to get up there and stand up and tell them what I think about what they said. Evaluation is just about the moment, right? But no, there's a lot of preparation involved in this. There's a lot of preparation. Whenever someone is getting up here to speak, they're getting up here for a reason. They're getting up here for a purpose. They want to accomplish something. And you need to know what they want to accomplish so that you can evaluate on their level what they did. Preparation. The second one is encouragement. Of course, we came to grow, but that doesn't mean we want to hear only our faults. We want to hear at least something that we are doing well, that we can keep doing better. And that's where encouragement comes in. After you've done all the work of preparation, after you've taken all the notes while the person is speaking, then when you stand up in front of everybody else, you should begin with a word of encouragement. Say, the thing I like the best about whoever it is, about whatever their speech was. Give us something that says yes. There was a yes moment for you. Don't let the cat out of the bag too early. Don't tell us exactly what that moment was. But at least give us some insight that it was there. Encourage them. Step number 2, I think this is the most important one, is reflect. After you've done the work of preparation and then you begin the evaluation with encouragement, you then need to reflect to the person what they said. You are the mirror for their morning. And here's how you reflect. Just 3 things to remember. You want to tell the people what you saw. You want to tell the people what you heard. And finally, you want to tell the people what you felt. You might have felt something in the middle of that speech. Boredom is a valid feeling. Frustration is a valid feeling. Anger, happiness, joy, those are valid feelings. But what you want to do is you want to get away from mere opinion to let the other person experience a little bit of what you experienced through them. I saw you put your hands in your pockets. I heard you say the word "and" repeatedly. I felt bored when you got to the middle of that section. Telling them what you experienced in the moment gives them a better handle on how they can do better. The next step is to focus. You could give them just a list of things that you saw and heard and felt, but you need to bring it down to the 1 or 2 items that really stood out. The 1 or 2 shining moments. The 1 or 2 glaring inconsistencies. Don't let the list be your evaluation. Bring it to a point to identify the most important aspects of it. Then, of course, you want to encourage them again, because you just told them the 1 or 2 most important points. So you need to encourage them another time, and that also gives us our E in our word. And then you come to the final stage of your evaluation, which is to challenge not just the person who spoke, but everybody in the room. Mix it up. I, you, us. Use all the pronouns possible to include everybody in the room in this journey together, and challenge us all to grow and to become the people that we want to be, the reason we came to Toastmasters in the first place. But if any of you are good spellers, you know that perfect doesn't end with a C, it ends with a T. And there's one final step that goes beyond your evaluation, and it's this: take your own medicine. That means ask someone to evaluate your evaluation. Don't just let it hang there as if you're the world's best evaluator. Actually ask someone to tell you what you did well. In fact, if you're brave enough, let the person you evaluated evaluate you back. Go up to them after the meeting and say, tell me, reflect back to me what I did. If you do these things, I believe you'll have the perfect evaluation. And I just want to remind you of a couple pitfalls. Please don't flatter. Please don't let your personal, emotional opinions get in the way of the facts of the moment. You can reflect your feelings, but don't dwell there. And don't let your challenge devolve into something that just basically says, I think you should walk around the stage more. I think you should this, or I think you should that. But let the challenge bring us all to a new level of public speaking. Finally, evaluation is everything. No one grows, no one gets better, and no one comes to Toastmasters without good evaluations. Thank you.